Hello, hello, it's June Olson with Junebug Creations, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator coming to you live from Whitefish, Montana. And it is the first Monday in November. Can you believe it? It's November already. Don't even tell me how many days to Christmas, because I'm still in fall and it's crazy. I'm working on getting ready or finished getting ready for the holiday extravaganza at the Majestic here in Kalispell on the 14th, 15th, and 16th. I thought it was this coming weekend, the 7th, 8th, and 9th. Discovered yesterday when I was looking up some information, it's the weekend after, so I actually have an extra week, which is great, or an extra weekend-ish. I would have been working on it all this week, but then I thought Thursday, Friday, and Saturday and Sunday were going to be there, and now I have those days. Well, not Sunday. I'm flying out to Vegas for the backstage event, which is the Leaders Conference with Stampin' Up! So next Monday, I'll be in Vegas soaking up a little bit of sun, and I will have a video here for you instead of a live. I've already got it planned. I'm doing it right after this. So it will be there for you Monday at 9:30, our usual Paper Pumpkin Playdate time. When it's usual, you know, but it'll be there. And all this week as I finish my live, I'll be recording the live for next week because I will be in Vegas Monday through Thursday. Looking forward to some 70s and 80-degree temperatures. It's 40s here. So, all right, let's go ahead and get started because I have two cards for you today. So here's our paper pumpkin. It is Cozy Christmas. It's the October 2025 kit, and it has flocking. So one of my questions before was on a scale of 1 to 10. How much do you like the flocking in this? I have heard some people who absolutely dislike it completely. I have heard that some people like it a little bit, and then I have those who have loved it. So I'm kind of in the middle. I like it for some of the things, and some of the things it's a little much for me, but you've seen that I've kind of turned things around a little bit. Today and for the rest of the time, we're just going to go with it because it's there. And so I'm not going to worry about trying to change it and not make it there. So because it is an all-inclusive kit, all you have to do is add a pair of scissors. That's it. Everything else is in the box. That's the beauty of it. And all of our kits, or the majority of our kits, there are a few where you do have to add also a glue gun. Not my favorite thing, but sometimes it's just one of those necessary craft things, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at what we have inside. You always get at least one Stampin' Spot. Every now and then we get two. This is the pecan pie. I will be using my regular size ink pad. And you get a paper pumpkin block. It even says paper pumpkin on it. And this comes in your very first kit. And then after that, you can reuse it for all the kits following. And then you get your photopolymer stamps, and so they have it printed on here instead of on the acetate. So this just helps me know where my stamps are and if I have put them all back. So I keep those together. Then we have our no-fail instructions. These were the 3 cards that we made, 3 of each design. So there are 9 cards in the kit. That's still a great deal considering they are handmade cards. They don't just look like handmade cards. Then on the back, it shows you all the ingredients in the kit, tells you the coordinating colors. This time around, it was basic beige, cherry cobbler, garden green, pecan pie, and real red. And then we have the dies that go with the 4th quarter kits. So not just this month, but last month and next month are these right here. So the 2 different leafy ones. This one right here, which I haven't used yet, a little flower, the Joy, which we used last week, and the Tag. So they are still available. You know, I think they're still available. I'm not going to promise you on that. If they are, they're only $12, and last year's are still available. The last Q3 and Q4 are still available. And then we have our no-fail instructions, with our ingredients page. So it tells you each card what ingredients from the kit go with it. And then you have your no-fail instructions. The strip is your tear and tape. The gray dots are the glue dots, and the hexagons are your Stampin' Dimensionals. There's no words, there's just arrows, so it's very clear, very easy to understand and follow. These are the cards as designed. So we have this one, and this is that flocking, kind of that little felting of here. It's called flocking, and that was on there. And then we have this one, Deck the Halls, and this one, Joy to the World, which I think is actually quite pretty, even with the flocking. It's all good. It's all good. So then I use the dies on an embossing folder on this one. You would have to go back to last week's live to see how I did this, but I thought it turned out great. And I used some non-traditional Christmas colors just to kind of break out of that box. And then I saw that someone else had flipped these over and had embossed them, each piece. And I added the Wink of Stella to it. And then we also did that with the star. So I really like how that turned out. It's very pretty, very elegant. It just looks like a snow-covered Christmas tree. All right, today for you, let's get our adhesive. So we have all three adhesives. We have the dimensionals, the glue dots, and the tear and tape. And then we have some sequins, some really bright red sequins. And I'm going to take two of these out because one of them is for next week's. I move that out of the way. And we're going to start with this card, which the technique I'm going to use for this card is called Twisted Ribbon. I just taught it to my card club, and I thought, you know what? I want to do it. Oh, I should find one for you. Here we go. This is what it's going to look like. So it looks like twisted ribbon, but it's so easy and so simple. And so I thought, you know what? This would be a great paper pumpkin card to do it on. I've been wanting to do it on a Christmas card, so I thought I will start with this one. Let's go ahead and get our stamping out of the way. I'm going to stamp the Merry Christmas, and I'm going to go ahead and do it in the pecan pie. Actually, no. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do it in the pecan pie. All right, so I just love how this is already cut out. This kind of looks like a school bus, or it kind of makes me think, the shape of it kind of makes me think of the Flintstones. Does everyone remember the Flintstones? That's what this reminds me of, because these look like the two wheels, and then they had just the top, and this was wood, and they'd be sitting in it, and their feet would be what motorizes the car. So I don't know if you remember Flintstones, probably totally dating myself. All right, and then I have, if you haven't seen it before, what I did was I adhered 2 blocks. You can see in here these little strips. That is the Stampin' Seal Plus, and I adhered 2 blocks together to help make it as thick as our ergonomic block. So if you get a lot of kits, you might as well glue them together. It makes it a little easier to handle. I still prefer these ergonomic ones because they have the little dip here, but for the purpose of this live, I'm going to go ahead and use this one just to kind of show you. But what's funny is I put those upside down. I didn't put them in the right direction, which has bothered me, but I can't pull it apart, so it is what it is. All right, so I juiced this baby up. I juiced up a bunch of my ink pads. All right, so here we go. And it's going to look so much better because I juiced them up. Drank my fruit smoothie this morning and it's not agreeing with me. So here we go. Let's do our twisted ribbon technique. So we're going to set this aside. We're going to set this aside. We're going to set this aside. And we're going to bring out this. Now, There's two ways to do it. So this was with DSP, so it was double-sided. So all I did was cut 6 half-inch strips. Hello, Joanne. Good morning. Ghostbuster car. Oh, that's true. That could be the Ghostbuster car. I haven't seen Ghostbusters, but maybe once. It was not one of my favorite movies, so I wasn't relating to that, but I loved watching Flintstones. All right. So when you have double-sided DSP, all you need are 6 strips at 1/2 inch wide. Because I'm using 2 different papers, see, this is not double-sided, I needed strips, I think it called for 6 strips, but I know these are long enough and we're going to be cutting them off. So I just did 3 or 4 of each, and I cut them off the card bases that we had. All right, let me zoom out just a little bit for you. All right, so we have here a piece of white cardstock that is 2 inches by 6 inches, and it is scored at 1 inch all the way down. All right, Joanne, you missed Card Club. I think, did you miss Card Club? I want to say you missed Card Club, and this is what we did. If you did miss it, then this is what we did, but maybe it was the team meeting you missed and you were there for Card Club. Now I can't remember. I get it all mixed up because so many of my team are also in my Card Club. What I want to say here is I had originally put on this one the dark on top. When you have your dark color on top, it takes away from seeing the other color. So my recommendation, that's just a personal recommendation, is to do your dark color underneath first, and then you'll do your lighter color. So in this case, we're going to do our red first. I'm going to use my liquid glue because I found it much easier. And if you're watching this on a replay to be able to do it with me, feel free to pause because it's going to take some time for you to do it. So you're going to be drawing a line of glue from this corner to this corner. And when you lay your red down, you're going to make sure it is above the score line, but below the point. All right, above the score line, below the point. And I just find it easier, where's my mat, to have my silicone mat down and then just draw the line. Well, you know, if it comes out. Why is it always on a live? You missed the team meeting. Okay, all right. I knew there was one you were at and one you were not at, and I'm just getting confused as to which was which. All right. You'll have to go watch the team meeting, Joanne. I did a super messy technique. Or stay tuned. I'll probably be doing it this Thursday for everyone else. I like to do, for the team, I like to do stuff first. All right, so again, we're going to put the strip above the score line, below the point. So it's at a diagonal. All right. Then I'm going to draw another line of glue and take another one, and it's going to go above the score line, below this score line. All right, below this score line. So your strips of paper are going to be diagonal parallels. So they're parallel going that way. So then we'll do this again. And making sure I'm staying in camera for you. Above the score line, below the score line. The top one was below the point because there was no score line. All right, so I'm just going to leave this here for just a second so it can stick. Looks like I got some glue on there. All right, then I'm going to take my scissors because I knew these were long enough to continue. Take my scissors. I'm going to flip it over because it's white. I have to use more of it. You could just do, if you're going to do a bunch of cards, you could just do 6 strips and then you have enough for both cards. These little ones we're just trimming off and those will get tossed. All right, so then I'm going to continue on down. All right. So with the red, all right. So above the score line, below the score line. And then we're going to go here, above the score line, below the score line. And then the last one, above the score line and below the score line. Oop, above the point and below the score line. There we go. All right. Then we're going to trim those off. So somebody already, Mary Beth already made a Christmas card using this technique. Super fun. I love it. I can't wait to do it more with more cards. I probably will, just to see how it looks. And then I'll have to do a this or that kind of thing and see which one you all think it turned out the best. All right, so those little ones are away. So now we have our piece. It looks like a candy cane. It looks like a what is it, that post outside the guys, I was going to call it a butcher shop, but it's not a butcher shop. Barber shop. Good morning, Covina. Great to see you. All right, so now we're going to take the green and we're going to go in the opposite direction. And you're only going to actually use 5 of these. So we're going to take it, and this time we're going to let it run off a little bit, put it from here, so above the score line and below the score line, like that. All right, and I still found, well, actually I found going this way, it was easier to just put some glue on here. So above the score line, below the score line, like that. All right. And a little bit of glue, not all the way to the end because you want a little bit to hang over. Above the score line, below the score line. All right. There we go. I think I only cut 4 of these, so I'll have to cut one of them off. Above the score line, below the score line, and you only need 5 for this. Make sure they're staying parallel, just like the other way. And then above the score line, below the score line. Because it's called twisted ribbon, people think it's wrapped. Where's Waldo? Yes, that's true. His shirt was Where's Waldo? You are correct. I forgot about that. All right, so I'm just going to trim that one off. All right, and then, let's see, we're going from this way. All right, so above and below. Yeah, is Where's Waldo a thing anymore? I don't even know if it's a thing anymore, but I do remember that. As a teacher, it was pretty popular. Even at the middle school level, which is where I taught. It was still popular. Lots of costumes for Where's Waldo back then. Oh, and Cat in the Hat. His hat, right, is red and white. There we go. But now I've added the green in, so now it just looks like maybe one of those special candy canes. All right, so I'm going to move this aside. When you use glue and you get your scissors all sticky like I just have done, you want to make sure to wipe them off really well. I'm going to move that. And then we need to bring out our trimmer. All right, so we're going to trim off 1/4 of an inch from each end. So I'm going to bring it over here, do 1/4 of an inch right there, then turn it around and do 1/4 of an inch right there. All right, so there I have my piece. All right, oh, I forgot the green. Hold on. All right, I forgot to do my green piece. All right, so this was 2 inches, so this is going to be 2 1/4 inches by 6 inches. Nope, not 6 inches. 5 1/2 inches, because there's no border top and bottom. There's just a border on the sides. Get those out of the way. All right, so just, whoops. Apparently I didn't measure that correctly. 5 1/2. Yeah, I don't know what I did, but I didn't do it correctly. Here we go. All right, now we've got this. So it's got just a little border on each side. For this one, I use the early espresso as a border. All right, so we're going to glue this down, and it doesn't really matter. Oops. Doesn't really matter which way it goes because it looks the same no matter how you put it. All right, so we're going to put glue on the back here. And then I like to do a line right along the edge just to make sure it sticks down. And there we go. All right, so there is that. All right, now we're going to put it on our card over here towards the left-hand side. All right. There we go. All right. Just a little bit on, we want a little bit showing on the left there. All right. And then we're going to glue this together. So we'll put some glue over here, right there, and right there. All right, I find that it seems to be easier to do it this way, like that. That works better for me for putting that together. All right, we're going to put some dimensionals on there. All right, so it pops up a little. All right, and then we're going to put some dimensionals on here. Like that. You always want to make sure they don't show. Oh, wait. I think I learned that last time. We don't want them in the center here. My dog is going berserk in the house. And there is deer outside. There are deer, or there is a deer. His antlers are getting slowly bigger. We've watched him grow. It's always fun. All right. So I want to make sure, here we go. I want to make sure that this is hanging from the top. So like that. Then we're going to bring, oh, that's not far enough over now, is it? So, guess we better figure this out. First, all right, so I'm going to put a little dab of glue here. Oh, it's going to go right down that line. All right. Ooh, that is right on the edge. I must not have measured this very well yesterday when I was working out this card. Well, it's not over the edge, so we'll go with it. And I think that needs a dimensional right there. On here, just to keep it from going wonky. Let's see. Trying to do it so you can see it, but so I can see it too. That doesn't always work. There we go. All right, that worked. And then we're going to do our Merry Christmas over here. So we need some dimensionals off to the side. And then we need a little bit of glue right there to make sure it stays. Oh, I'm not very good with my placement today. All right, like that. All right, and there we have it. Let's add a little bit of bling because we always need bling, right? Okay, so let's do, whoops, a large one. What do you think of this twisted ribbon technique? I am in love with it. I really, truly am in love with it. Let's do one of the larger ones. There's a lot more larger ones than there are the smaller ones. All right, so there we go. What do you think of that? I love this technique. It looks like I got it a little wonky. Wow. It's a crooked looking ladder. Maybe no one will notice. I just noticed this is a little wider than this up here, which is probably why it's coming off my card just a little bit. All right, so you know what? I'm not going to cut it because that's going to make it look more crooked. So we're just going to go with this. Not everything's straight at Christmas time, right? I love this technique. I do. All right, there are some stars on our stamps or in our stamp set. So I'm going to just use some of those. I'm going to use this one and grab the little one. And I'm going to do, I think, some green stars to kind of match what's on the front. Like this. I just kind of, oh, I don't seem to be getting that bottom part. There we go. All right, so just like that. And no, it's not an odd number, but that's okay. I won't think about it. You like it a lot? Yeah, I really like this twisted ribbon technique. It's super fun. Super fun. And now you've seen it and now you can do it. You'll just probably have to watch this video, write down the measurements as you rewatch this, and then you can also pause it as we go. So super fun. There is card 1 for today. And here is going to be card 2 for today. All right, so I cut off those red strips here. but I still have most of the card base, so we're going to use it. We're going to turn it this way, and we're going to emboss this. All right, so let me move all this over and emboss this. We're going to use the wreath, the 3D, let me see, the traditional wreath 3D embossing folder. We used it for putting the white tree on here. This time we're going to put this in here like that. All right. Is that straight? Nope, that's not straight. Here we go. I got to look at it. There we go. All right, so we're going to take our, because it's a 3D, we're going to take plate 1, put our embossing folder with the paper inside, and then our plate 4, and we're going to run it through our embossing machine. Probably one of my favorite tools. It's kind of a toss-up. I was asking my team on Saturday what their favorite tool was, and I thought it was going to be take your pick tool, but it was this Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and I would have to agree that's probably one of my favorite tools as well. So we need some color on this. So we're going to take our, let's get this stuff off. We're going to take our blending brush. All right, we want to make sure to kind of tap it off and then kind of go in circular motions around our embossed area. All right. I love this glass mat because we can make a mess on it like I did for the team meeting the other day, and it will clean up nicely. So I'm just embossing, and it's mainly hitting all the parts that are embossed, that are sticking up. Okay, so I'm going back over it because I want it a little bit darker. And then I'll be able to just clean up this ink afterwards with the little chamois cloth that came with it. How do you like them apples? All right. So just going around it twice, using the brush, you can see I have my finger on top, tapping off a little bit of that extra so I don't get too much or too blobby on here. And it's okay, I have my fingers here. The Joy is going to cover it, so I'm not worried about it too much. I think I'm going to go around one more time, press a little bit more. There's 3 layers I've noticed on this embossing folder. There's 3 different layers, and so it really, I mean, look how cool that looks. But there's 3 different layers to it. You have the one that's the darkest, that's the most raised, then you have the next one, and then you have the flat layer. So I just really am enjoying this embossing folder. So here we go. All right, so now I've got all this ink all over my glass mat. What do? I pull out the little chamois that came with it. Move that out of the way. And watch this. I just wipe it right up and it's gone. It's gone. All the ink. Nice and easy. I'm getting used to this mat, especially after I did that technique for my team on Saturday. Yeah, now all of a sudden I am a fan of making my embossing, my glass mat dirty and just cleaning it with my cloth. And then I just store it in a case like my regular chamois. All right, now it's nice and dry already, and there is our fun card front. All right, so we're going to stick our Joy. See, that works. All right, we're going to stick all of this together. Let's go ahead and glue our Joy on there. I'm going to use my my tweezers for this because it just makes it so much easier. Let's see if I can pick it up. All right, so we're going to put a little bit of glue over here. A little bit of glue over here. And we're going to put this O down like that. All right. So I sort of had 3 cards ready for you for today, but then when I opened it all up to review what I was going to do with them, I should have written down or drawn. There's 1 card. I don't remember what I was going to do with it. So you'll get to see it for next week because I'll have to sit here and remember what I was going to do with that card. So next week will be another card and a scrapbook page. Well, a 2-page layout. That was super fun with pictures. I had pictures. Nice embossing folder, right, Joanne? It really is a very, very lovely embossing folder. It's a full wreath. It's huge. So it won't make a you won't be able to do a whole card with it unless you buy an extra sized envelope. But it is definitely a very pretty one. You'll see it again on Thursday for Thunderstruck Thursday. So Thunderstruck Thursday, I'll be doing the technique I showed my team on Monday. I showed them on Saturday. You'll be seeing it on Thursday. So then we're going to do To the World, but I'm going to do it in the green, the garden green, because we don't have any brown on this one. To the World. So it's Joy to the World. And I already sang it for you last time, so I won't bother about singing it for you this time. All right. It is one of my favorites. Joy to the World. All right, here we go. There we go. All right. And let's put some, oh, we need to put this on. Ooh, I need to see the other one. I'm not sure I remember how to put that together. Let's see. There we go. So we need this one up here and that one down there. All right. So we need this one up here. Put a little glue right here. And it goes across this way. Whoop. This way. Oop. All right. And then this one goes a swooshy down the rest of the way. All right, here we go. Let's see. There we go. All right. And then we need dimensionals. Because we definitely want, and I like to put dimensionals, you know, on where I've glued so that it helps it stick. I'm going to do one up here, one over here, and then I'm going to do one in this corner, one in this corner, and then I feel like this leaf needs one, and maybe this one. I want to make sure it's not going anywhere. All right. And that it doesn't sag or droop. That would be the other reason for making sure you had plenty, is you really don't want it to sag or droop. So you want to put it in places where you think it might start drooping or sagging. There we go. So nice to have nails again. All right, so then we're going to put that. Oh, you know what? I should do that center so the green shows through. Where is my? there was enough ink on it to where I can do the rest of that center. All right, because then it's green in the center and not white. All right, oops. There we go. Stick everything down. And then we're going to put this right here like that. All right, but obviously no glue down here because it's not going to work. So we want it above this point where my finger is. So I want it up here like this. All right, and center it back on the card like this. All right, there we go. And no splooshing. Yay! All right, there we go. Let's add some bling. All right. Stick one over here because you know I like to tuck, right? I learned that recently from somewhere. I'm not even sure where I learned it from, but I just really like the tuck when you have this giant bling, and this one is really giant. So here is card 2, Joy to the World. All right, and then you can flip it up and then you can write in here. Just make sure you don't write all the way down. All right, let's go ahead and, oh, should we do those stars? Yeah, I almost wish they had this pattern in here in amongst the stamps because it was used on the different cards and the trees. I'll just go ahead and use this one though, and we'll do it in some cherry cobbler just along the top. We don't want it to show on the bottom. All right, so thank you, Joanne. Thank you very much. I was in here last night. Wow, these don't even look red. But they look like they're hanging. They'll turn red. This is a really dark color, and I juiced this one up too. So it's a lot darker after you juice them. They have to just kind of settle in and then get used. So, oh, now it's starting to look red. All right, once it dries, it starts to look more red. So there we go, Joy to the World, and a Merry Christmas. We can take this out of there. So here are our 2, let's do it this way. Here are our 2 cards for today. I trust you like them. I had fun making them, and I had fun sharing with you some new techniques. I don't know if coloring this is new, but it's been a while since I've done it. But I really love the depth and the layers of this embossing folder, that there are 3 different depths to it. It just looks fantastic. Look at that. It just looks fantastic. All right, everybody. So thank you, Joanne and Covina, for joining me. I really appreciate it. It's always good to see you on here. So for Paper Pumpkin, our next one is Wrapped in Cheer. You have until November 10th to subscribe. And then this one is the Watercolor in Bloom customizable sentiment stamps. I'm curious to see what that is. The only other thing I want to remind you of, they still have them, are the 12 days of Christmas crafting calendar. I will be opening it after I get back from backstage. All right, I will be opening it and then making those 12 PDFs. So if you want to be able to get those 12 PDFs, when you purchase this, I will send you the PDFs that go with it. All right, after I open everything and play with it. So remember, it also comes with 2 stamp sets in one case, but 2 stamp sets in one case. So you can kind of see this kind of looks like a birthday cake. There's some flowers, butterflies, some leaves, and then miss you, healing hugs, thinking of you, always in my heart, proud of you, birthday wishes, big thanks, love you, for someone extra special, and a heart. So it comes at Christmas time in a Christmas box, but it is year-round crafting. So if you have any crafty friends on your shopping list for Christmas, this will be a fun surprise for them, unless they've already seen it online, which lots of people have. But I will be opening it one day at a time after I get back from Vegas. So starting on the 17th, I will be opening it each day except for Wednesdays and Sundays, because those are the days that are family days, or like Wednesdays are appointments and errand days with mom and dad. So we'll be opening it the 17th, 18th, 20th, 21st, 22nd, and then again that next Monday. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then that next week. So the last 2 weeks in November, I'll be opening that kit, and we'll be playing and making some cards with it. I'm going to do an on-the-spot thing. So wish me luck with that, because I don't know what's in the packet, in the behind the doors. I have only seen 2 things. I saw some DSP, and I know there's some dies. Other than that, I don't know what's in it. I can guess. I'll have some cardstock colors for card bases based on the colors on the front of the box. But other than that, I don't know what's in it. I have stayed away from seeing it, so I'm looking forward to playing with it right there in front of you, and then creating some tutorials for you. So if you want it, it's $99 plus your shipping and tax if you live in a place where there is tax, but you'll get 12 free tutorials. Well, I guess they're not free because you're paying for that, but you get 12 tutorials to go with your 12 days of crafting. All right, so have a great rest of your Monday. I will see you all back here tomorrow at 1:30. Yeah, 1:30. No, actually, I moved that. Why is that not moved? All right, tomorrow at 11:30. And then I will see you Thursday at 1:30 for Thunderstruck Thursday. So I'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Have a great rest of your Monday. Bye-bye.